Tonight, a Wiregrass attorney scored a rare win in a 2021 attempted murder case. WDHN's Robert Smith has the story.
Attorney David Harrison, who has been representing Terrence Rogers in an attempted murder case from 2021, was granted a stand your ground dismissal this week from Coffee County Judge Shannon Clark. Harrison says he believes it's one of the first stand your ground cases granted in this area.
I see it tried, that is, I see lawyers attempt it, and I've never seen one successful. This is the first one that I have seen successful, and I just think that it's a law that we all need to look at. It's something that the court system needs to look at.
Harrison says in 2021, his client Rogers had to use stand your ground, which ultimately led to him shooting someone in the 1200 block of Park Street in Troy, a block away from the university. Harrison says Rogers and the victim had previously got into an altercation outside of a restaurant in Troy in the parking lot because their car doors almost hit each other. He says the victim got out of the car with a gun, but they both left peacefully, but trouble sparked when Rogers was on the way home.
And right by the guy's house, had no idea where he lived, happened to ride by his house, and the guy was outside, and my guy was going to say, hey, listen, no problems, I don't want a problem with you. And when he did, the person who was shot pulled a weapon and fired at my client. My client, who was a licensed gun carrier, returned fire and shot him. Shot him in the chest and then charged him with attempted murder.
That's when Harrison says he filed for a stand your ground hearing, which has to meet the criteria that you have the right to be where you are, you're not the initial aggressor, and if you're threatened for your life, you can protect yourself. Before the dismissal and meeting that criteria, Rogers was facing life in prison, with it being a Class A felony.
And that's what's important in this case, is that the system worked. And that's what the message I want to get across is, hey, we've got great judges, great lawyers, and the system worked in this case.
However, Harrison says it's rare to be granted a dismissal for stand your ground, which has been the law for over a decade. He says it's still fairly new.
And I think all the judges are fair and they try to do their job. I think that sometimes when it's a new law, some judges are reluctant to initiate it or to rule that way, maybe for some kind of retaliation for whatever reason, politically or whatever.
Harrison says he hopes this case can be a precedent for other cases that meet the criteria going forward. Reporting, Robert Smith, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.